do name names.
I was just saying as well that there is a gap in the middle of row number 3 where Alex Latham unfortunately would have been, but he is...
Sad lack of pads in his...
We saw him walking around the paddock and he is relatively okay.
Yep.
But green flag at the back, so all eyes to the lights. Red lights are on and out they go. And
Zach very sharply away, I think. Oh, but then it gets the full karate shot there from Matt Pallet. He's taken no prisoners whatsoever as they go down into Richie's for the first time. It looks like Matt leading from Zach Weston, I think there. Is that how you think I'd call it?
It certainly looked that way. I was looking in the mid-pack as well, just making sure everybody makes it through safely on this opening lap. Of course, this will be a 7-lap race for the Dart Motorsport MRO 600s and Clubman 600s. As they make their way around Wilson's for the first time then, a few changes of position further down the order there. I can see 2 wide, 3 wide with the roundabout second from the back as they make their way now through the left-hander of Palmer's. Quite a few people in the bank in there overlooking Palmer's, which is great to see, but Matt Pallet, Zach Weston, Henry Ross and Sam Hurst is your top 4. And that looks like the number 3 of Joey Landon, who's up next in 5th position. So the man from Crowborough on bike number 3, that black Kawasaki, he's in fact through on Sam Hurst and promotes himself into 4th position.
Does indeed. It's a good start for him there then. Through we go at Hamilton's, up to Oggies once again. A line of bikes there with some good scrapping going on in the midfield there. Side-by-side stuff as people try to sort themselves out. Obviously this is in relative terms a longish race today. This one's going to be over 7 laps, not quite as long as the power bike race, the one and only power bike race. That'll be a 10-lap event, so they'll be wrestling those 200 horsepower machines around here for 20 or so minutes. It's going to be definitely hard work for the riders involved there as the 600s play the sleeper slimming game all the way down the straight there. They'll be coming into our view very shortly as they make their way through the bomb hole now up towards Corum's. Here we come then any moment now, and there's a bit of movement at the station. Looks like we've got a breakaway pairing at the front there. Certainly a couple of riders going at it. That's a 3-way battle for the lead in real terms. A little bit of a gap before we see the 4th place argument. And pretty much equidistant all the way down. What can you see, mate?
Sam Hurst back in the 4th place ahead of Joey Landon, so a little bit of a change on just on the cusp of the top 5 there, but Matt Pallet leads them around at the end of lap number 1. Zach Weston up next. Henry Ross is looking for that inside pass, but the doctor's dangle there from Zach Weston. It seemed to hold on to that 2nd position as they go through Riches once again for the first time at full racing speed. Looks like got someone dropping down the order. Yeah, Alex Latham is dropping down the timing screen as you would expect there, unfortunately. Kai Dickinson's dropped 2 positions. Phil Seaton dropped 2 positions from the start, which is a little bit better than what he went earlier. Yesterday. Elijah Everton makes up 6 places. Gareth Cunningham drops 5, and number 511 of Barrett has made up a few positions. That's Will Barrett. He's made up 6, and that puts him 7th in the Clubman's.
Okay, leaders up now once again towards Agostini's. Heads in sheds, people trying to get every little advantage they can. But Pallet still continues to lead there. That's going to be Weston, definitely holds on to the gap from Henry Ross in 3rd, but obviously those 3 are separated by 2 or 3 bike lengths each. Sam Hurst still in 4th place. Glad Paddy had a bit of a tyre issue towards the end of the race yesterday, which is why he dropped back towards the end, but still hung on for a podium there. Onto the back straight we go then. Everybody trying to tuck in tight, get the power down early, feed it in there. And I reckon Weston is looking very good in the slipstream there on Pallet. I don't know if he's going to be able to make a move. Obviously, there's quite a few laps to go. The youngster certainly knows how to use his head. Very clever young racer. Into Nelson's, the right-hander at the bottom there. No order changes, I don't think, as we come to the bomb hole. But I think Weston is just trying to push on as hard as he possibly can, trying to force an error from the leader. Looks like the top 4 have closed up a little bit there, Brad. They came across the line on the last lap, and they were covered by 1.171. So wait and see what sort of coverage you got here, but not a lot.
Sam Hurst was quickest in the 1st sector on this lap as well, and he is in a 3rd position. In fact, he's going side by side with Zach Weston for 2nd place. Matt Pallet leads them across the line by 0.4 of a second. Sam Hurst moves up into 2nd place now over Zach Weston, Henry Ross, Joey Landon, and then Phil Seaton on the Yamaha R9. He's up there in the 6th place ahead of Kai Dickinson, and then Reese Forrest, first of the Clubman riders, ahead of Paul by 1.6 seconds. And Elijah Everton, the man from Horncastle, he rounds out the top 10 overall.
Okay, leader in the Champion of Snetterton coming here, Mr. Dutton, James Dutton. He's down in 11th place at the moment, so unfortunately won't be scoring enough points to hang on to that lead. And of course, the all-important trophy, the main one in the 600s here, who's looking to do well, is Henry Ross. And at the moment, I'm afraid Henry, I don't think he's going to score enough points to be in serious contention. He really needs to win or finish second to even have a sniff at getting that. Okay. Over at Hamilton's leaders go once again. It is still Matt Pally away. Sam Hurst is up to that second place, holding off Zach Weston.
I thought Zach Weston was having a look at the inside of Oggies there.
There, isn't he? Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Henry Ross in fourth, just dropping off the top four. Did close down a little bit that time, got to just over a second. But now I think that's going to be out to around about 1.8, something like that. Then down the back straight, the leaders go to Bentley's. It's a very comfortable lead now for Matt Pallett. Definitely the battle is on for second place between those two there as they go down.
So yeah, just watch them as they go through the back straight then and in towards Brundles and Nelson's. Matt Pallett is leading the way still from Sam Hurst. And the next rider-up will be the number 135 of Zach Weston. So watching them go then as they go through the bomb hole and on towards Corrams. They're back into our sight now, and the top four have split up a little bit there, but the fight for second really is still on. Zach Weston putting the pressure onto the shoulders now of the number 91 of Sam Hurst, but round Murray's and onto the front straight they come then, up through the gearbox once again, and well into three figures in terms of speed. Matt Pallett leads them across the line. It was by 0.4, it's now by 0.7 over Sam Hurst. Zach Weston 0.3 of a second behind Sam Hurst, and Henry Ross, Joey Lambden inside the top five. There goes Phil Seaton, and he's lapping in the 1 minute 58 at the moment, 58.599, and that's quicker than the guy in front, Joey Lambden, but he is 1.1 seconds adrift. So let's have a look at the times in the gap. He's going 0.4 of a second quicker. The gap is 1.1, and there are 4 laps to go. Looks like we may have lost a rider within this first split as well, Keith, as the 85 of Jack Wolf didn't come through into sector number 2.
Yeah, no, he's gone dropping down. You're right, unfortunately. Hear a little bit of chatter on the radio, not quite sure what that relates to, but yep, he's definitely going down the order there, unfortunately, for him.
He had a DNF yesterday as well, unfortunately, did Jack Wolf in the Clubman's.
Elijah Everton losing 4 places on the lap as well, while Cunningham makes up for Hurst on Western, of course. We announced that one earlier. Fastest man on the track, actually, so far is Sam Hurst with a 58.534, but the leader's also in the 58.5s as well. And I heard you mention the 58.5 there for Seaton as well, who's got the fastest first sector under his belt. So there is a slightly faster time out there somewhere, because Pallett's done a 39.4 in the first sector. It's an 18.7 in the second sector there for Seaton.
Point sector number 1 for Matt Pallett, just as you go on the sector times there, 18.3. So he pulls out his advantage by a further 0.2 of a second, and that gives him a lead of around about 0.9, maybe even a whole second, as Phil Seaton now is right on the rear tail unit of the number 3 of Joey Lambden. So we're watching as we go around the bomb hole and on towards Corrams. There comes the top 4, then a bit of a gap back to Joey Lambden and Phil Seaton, who's right in the wheel tracks now of the Kawasaki, bike number 3 and 69. That is Joey Lambden and Phil Seaton through Murray's and onto the front straight. Back with the leaders, they're coming across the line now. Matt Pallett, number 212, he leads by over a second, I'd say, over Sam Hurst, 1.5 seconds, and it's a 57.5, and that is almost the quickest lap of the weekend.
That's a fantastic time he's just done there, it really is. So yeah, you're right, the wind's not too strong and the clear riders now. Yes, Seaton is a 50-year-old rider, Glenn Seaton, so he's not quite in the Pete Baker category, but he ain't too far to go, really.
Oh, Joey Lambden's gone wide at Wilson's, and that's cost him some time. He holds on to position ahead of Kai Dickinson, but it has cost him a lot of time in the fight for 5th position with himself and Phil Seaton. There goes Matt Pallett in the lead. He's in towards Agostini's now, as is Sam Hurst and Henry Ross. Next up, Zach Weston, he was 3rd position as they came across the line. So as they come out of Agostini's and go on towards Hamilton's, there is Zach Weston in 4th position now behind Henry Ross. So Henry Ross has found his way through as they came across the line, and he's challenging Sam Hurst already for that 2nd place.
I wonder if Zach's running into some sort of problems there, actually, because we're not used to seeing Zach go off the boil like that. Last time across the line, he did a 58.4, so he's definitely not getting slower, but he's not able to take the pace because the guys in front of him with the 57.5 and the 58.3 there, a little bit quicker than him. Henry Ross behind him is a little bit quicker on that lap as well. So clearly, Zach Weston starting to struggle a little bit with something. Last lap it was Seaton very consistent there, 58.6 against the 58.6 he did the lap before as well. Forrest continues to lead the way ahead of Paul Bloomfield in the Clubmans as well. Anderson third of the Clubmans, looking for another pot as Montini goes past on Barrett and Coombs goes past on Walker somewhere just inside the top 20. Looks like Dan Mercer's gone dropping off the order board there, and George Higgins has come into the paddock, unfortunately. Leaders now into Murray's once again up the front straight. And I think Matt Pallett is going to be confirming himself at the very sharp end here. That's 5 laps down, 2 laps to go. He comes across the line. This time it's another 57, 57.583 is against the 57.530. So very consistent indeed there for him. And he does get a second, which is again a little bit quicker. It's a purple sector for him there. Hurst 2.5 seconds back. He's got Henry Ross pretty much alongside. Half a second back is Zach Weston. And Zach was about the same sort of lap time as Phil Seaton that time. Kai Dickinson, then Lambden. Again, that battle of the Clubmans, and this way time Paul Bloomfield has found his way past on Reese Forrest. So that's going to be a few more championship points in here.
Yeah, they're having a good fight for the lead in the Clubmans at the moment. Phil Seaton is now through in towards Agostini's. There goes Kai Dickinson and Joey Lambden. But the fight for the Clubman lead are coming in towards Palmer's now through the left-hander. It's a group of 4, 2 of which are the leading Clubmans. There is Paul Bloomfield, Gareth Cunningham. Then it is, who's up next, can't quite see. I think James Dutton's in there as well. Yeah, Reese Forrest is in there. Yeah, Reese Forrest is the rider of 3rd in that particular group. So as they come out of Agostini's, Gareth Cunningham has split the Clubmans at the moment.
Good stuff.
Leaders down the back straight and heading towards the second sector once again, and Matt Pallett came across the line with a 2.5 second advantage over Sam Hurst, who had a 7/100th of a second advantage over Henry Ross. But as they come this time around, as we look up then through the left and the right, it is still Sam Hurst who holds on to that second position, but Zach Weston is still there, but not quite close enough to make a challenge. Phil Seaton's looking quick as well as they go through sector number 2. And in fact, he goes a 1/10 of a second quicker than the man in front, but time is running out and the gap is a little bit too much to bridge there, unfortunately, for Phil Seaton. But he's picked them off one by one throughout the course of this race on this Yamaha R9 for the former MRO 600 champion. But the leaders back with us out of Murray's as the last lap flag now goes out. So there's 6 down and only 1 more to go. There goes Sam Hurst in 2nd, Henry Ross in 3rd, Zach Weston in 4th.
Tell you what, those 2 about the hurry-up flag, I don't think we need to worry about who's going to win this race, that's for sure, but this second place really is up for grabs. I have to say, Zach Weston looking very determined indeed. Look at them going down. I'll tell you who else looks determined. Henry Ross, I think he's having a move on Sam Hurst there at Wilson's. Is he down the inside? Is that a change on there, mate?
Couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah, it's very close though indeed, and that arguing has also allowed Zach Weston to get back on terms. So while we're going to see the leader Pallett coming up towards Agostini's all on his own, it's going to be very close. It is almost side by side. That is Hurst and Ross. A little bit further back is Weston. He's going to have to find a little bit of time if he wants to get back on terms with these guys. Certainly the leader is totally untroubled as he makes his way up towards Hamilton's. Here comes the battling pair behind him though, Hurst and Ross. This is a great battle. The Team Valley 91 crew will be screaming their lungs out if they can see this from their vantage point. Here we go into Oggie's. Ross though is lining Hurst up. He's going to be trying to get the drive coming out of Williams, going to get the slipstream if he can get perfectly placed, get the drive coming off the corner. They're cranked over too hard. We can't see them behind the Armco there. They're going to reappear very slightly in front of us, and it looks like advantage Hurst there. I think he got off the corner a little bit better because he looks like he's opening up the gap just a little bit more speed, Henry Ross, so that could be all over for that battle for second. So that will be another medal for the Team Valley's team, a very friendly bunch of guys who put an awful lot into their racing. Okay, behind them the Clubman battle continues as well, and looks like Bloomfield and Forrest are still arguing there as Cunningham went past the pair.
5 seconds, yeah, looks like Henry Ross is just trying to carry the corner speed. He's later on the brakes and goes up the inside of Sam Hurst, hits him up at Murray's and does take second position. He doesn't run wide either, so Henry Ross and Sam Hurst, it'll be all about the drag to the line as Matt Pallett takes another victory in the MROs, but Sam Hurst gets it back ahead of Henry Ross. That's 2nd and 3rd place in the MRO 600. Zach Weston up next in 4th, and Phil Seaton on the new Yamaha R9. He rounds out the top 5 ahead of Kai Dickinson, and then next up will be the number 3 of Joey Lambden. Then it's all eyes towards this battle in the Clubmans. Let's keep an eye on it, because here comes Gareth Cunningham actually, and almost side by side there between. Oh, that was so close. I have no idea who got that. Right, Paul Bloomfield is credited with the Clubman win by 11/1000th of a second.
Excellent.
So what's that, a tyre width?
Yeah, certainly isn't very much, mate. You wouldn't want that much scrap metal, that's for sure. It wouldn't get you much money. Okay, so the champion of Stat, Henry's now moved up into second place, into the lead, sorry, with 72 points. Max Hardy is still got a race to run, so is Luke Wallington. They're 70 and 65, so I think in real terms it's a straight battle between Luke and Max. Wait and see very shortly indeed. We've still got another race before we get the second champion of Snetterton race out with the MRO power bikes.